Imagine your team just beat a global football giant 3-2. You know, you played the perfect game. The stadium is literally shaking. The fans are screaming your name.
Yeah, it's the dream scenario.
Right. But then, so why are your players walking off the pitch looking like they've just, lost absolutely everything?
It really is the ultimate sports paradox.
Yeah.
You know, winning the battle on the night, executing your game plan flawlessly, but still somehow losing the war in front of tens of thousands of people.
Exactly. And welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking you into the heart of a highly emotional, totally singular night in European football.
It was wild.
It really was. We are unpacking Tottenham Hotspur's recent, incredibly dramatic match against the Spanish powerhouse, Atletico Madrid. Our mission for you today is to explore the mechanics of what we call a hollow victory. Like, we're going to look at how a team can win on the night but lose the larger contest.
Yeah, the bigger picture.
Right, and dive into this wild idea that crashing out of a massive, prestigious tournament might actually be, well, the one thing that saves this club from total, unmitigated ruin.
What's fascinating here is, to really grasp the sheer emotional whiplash of this specific match, you have to look at the massive shadow hanging over the club right now.
Oh, definitely.
For Spurs, this season has been nothing short of traumatic. I mean, we are dissecting this specific 3-2 victory, sure, but we also have to look at the controversial new manager pulling the strings.
Tudor.
Yeah. And the terrifying, very real threat of Premier League relegation and what this bitter cocktail of events means for the actual literal survival of the club.
Okay, let's start right on the pitch. So Spurs are at home. They're playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, under the lights.
Exactly. The atmosphere is completely electric, and they pull off what looks like, honestly, a miracle on paper. They beat Atletico Madrid 3-2.
And it wasn't a fluke either.
No. They didn't just scrape a lucky goal. They were dynamic, they were aggressive, they showed this level of grit and flair that has been, frankly, entirely missing for months.
Completely absent. They pressed high, they tackled hard. I mean, they looked like an elite European squad out there.
But then, the referee blows the final whistle. And despite that brilliant 3-2 win, Spurs are officially eliminated from the Champions League.
Right, because they exit the tournament losing 7-5 on aggregate.
Which is just brutal. For anyone who doesn't follow the tournament structure, can you break down that math?
Yeah, so in these European knockout stages, you play 2 games, 1 away, 1 at home, and the scores are combined.
Right.
So the tragedy of this absolute masterclass in London is that it was completely overshadowed by a calamitous 5-2 collapse during the first leg over in Madrid.
So they walked onto their home pitch already buried under this massive 3-goal deficit.
Yeah, an impossible mountain to climb.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I was thinking about how to visualize this feeling for you, the listener. It's like absolutely acing your final exam.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, you stay up all night, you know the material backward and forward, you take the test, and you get a flawless A+ coach. You are feeling amazing.
Right, top of the world.
But then the professor pulls you aside and tells you that you are still failing the entire class because you completely slept through the midterms.
That is exactly it. You proved your ultimate capability on the final exam, but the mathematical damage from your earlier negligence was already, well, insurmountable.
Insurmountable, exactly.
And the stark reality of that math sets in immediately on the pitch. I mean, Atletico Madrid players are celebrating because they get to pack their bags and prepare for a massive, glamorous quarterfinal clash with Barcelona.
While Spurs are just what? Standing there?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Spurs are left standing on their own grass, holding a 3-2 win that means absolutely nothing for their European dreams.
It is literally just a piece of paper with an A+ on it, but you still have to repeat the grade.
It's heartbreaking.
Which forces us to look at the guy handing out the grades, right? We have to look at the man pacing the touchline, Igor Tudor.
Right, the new manager.
Because the tactical and emotional shift we saw on the pitch actually started in the dugout.
It did. And, Igor Tudor stepped into a void that can only be described as a nightmare.
A total mess.
He inherited a completely broken squad following the departure of the previous manager, Thomas Frank.
And when a manager leaves mid-season like that...
Oh, the internal structures of a football club just dissolve. The tactical systems the players relied on are gone. Player confidence totally shatters.
The locker room fractures into cliques, I imagine.
Exactly. Igor Tudor walked into that toxic environment, and his start was, well, disastrous.
I mean, he lost his first 4 games in charge. 4 straight losses right out of the gate.
Yeah, not ideal.
For a club with the stature and the financial backing of Spurs, that is a full-blown crisis alarm blaring. You can't just lose 4 games and expect the fans or the board to preach patience, you know?
No, absolutely not. A start like that usually ends an interim manager's tenure before it even really begins.
Right, the players just stop listening.
But then we see this mechanical shift in how the team operates. It started just prior to this Madrid game, with a remarkably gritty draw away at Anfield last Sunday.
Oh, playing Liverpool at Anfield is brutal.
It's a fortress. Getting a result there requires pure resilience. You have to suffer without the ball, defend deep, and maintain absolute tactical discipline.
And Tudor clearly used that Anfield draw as a foundation, right?
Absolutely did.
Like, he took that defensive grit and translated it into the aggressive press we saw against Atletico Madrid. He managed to do something seemingly impossible.
Getting them to care.
Yes. He got this broken, totally demoralized team to run, fight, and truly play for the badge again.
Which is huge.
But that brings up one of the most fascinating details about this entire match for me.
What's that?
Okay, so the final whistle blows.
Meh.
Spurs have won 3-2, and Igor Tudor's reaction. He turns around and marches straight down the tunnel.
Yeah, straight down.
Zero celebration, no lingering to applaud the fans, no comforting the players on the pitch. He just vanishes.
The dissonance between that physical reaction and his verbal assessment later is incredibly telling, actually.
Because he said something totally different later.
Right. In his post-match press conference, Tudor actually described the team's performance as a beautiful sensation.
See, when I saw Tudor march down the tunnel, it looked like pure frustration to me.
Really?
Yeah. Like, he knew this 3-2 win was too little, too late for his own job security. I mean, he's an interim manager. The club is actively hunting for a permanent successor.
That's true. They are looking.
I just saw a guy thinking, well, I'm out of a job. I won the game, but I lost the tie, and my job interview is officially over.
Okay, I read it completely differently.
Really? How so?
I think it was a highly calculated psychological move.
A power move.
Exactly. What Tudor has achieved here is fundamentally about resetting the baseline psychology of the club. He took a team that had stopped caring. I mean, a team that allowed a 5-2 collapse in Madrid because they literally stopped running.
Yeah, they just gave up.
And he made them care again. Marching down the tunnel is the clear physical rejection of complacency.
Right.
By calling the effort a beautiful sensation to the press, he validates their hard work. But by refusing to celebrate the hollow victory on the pitch, he is setting a standard.
He's telling them it's not enough.
Right. He is telling the locker room, the standard at this club is not just playing well on the night, the standard is advancing.
Oh, wow. He's drawing a line in the sand.
Precisely.
He's saying, you know, the effort was beautiful, but the outcome is unacceptable. We aren't going to pop champagne just because we tried hard.
Exactly.
And that psychological reframing is vital right now because we have to ask, what exactly are they fighting for now?
Survive.
Right. With their European dreams dead and buried, the focus shifts entirely to the incredibly harsh, unglamorous reality of their domestic league.
Because the Champions League, which is supposed to be the pinnacle of European football, had actually become a fatal distraction for this club.
A massive distraction.
Domestically, in the Premier League, Spurs are slipping dangerously close to the relegation zone.
Which is terrifying.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening who might not follow the business side of English football closely, relegation isn't just like a bruised ego or a bad season.
No, it's financial ruin.
It is a financial catastrophe. If you finish in the bottom 3 of the Premier League, you are demoted to the lower division. You lose hundreds of millions of dollars in global television revenue, literally overnight.
The drop-off is staggering.
You are forced to implement mandatory wage cuts. Your star players demand immediate transfers because they refuse to play in a lower league. It is a complete dismantling of the club's infrastructure.
Which is a catastrophic fall from grace. I mean, we are talking about a club that achieves Europa League glory just last year.
Just last year. It's crazy.
To go from lifting a European trophy to facing the terrifying prospect of a financial apocalypse in a single year? That is the definition of a calamitous trajectory.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. It makes you realize that exiting Europe might be practically the absolute best thing for their survival.
It's the silver lining.
I look at it like being on a sinking ship, and there is this magnificent $1 million grand piano in the ballroom.
Okay, I see where you're going.
It's beautiful, it's the most prestigious thing on the boat, and everyone admires it. But the ship is taking on water. You have to make the agonizing decision to throw that grand piano overboard because its sheer weight is dragging the entire ship to the bottom.
The piano being the Champions League.
Exactly. The grim business of basic survival has to take precedence over the glamour of the piano.
That's a great analogy. And the physics of fixture congestion perfectly mirror that weight dragging the ship down. Well, playing in Europe means you are playing 2 highly competitive matches a week. If you play a bruising game in Madrid on Thursday night, and then you have to play a vital Premier League match on Sunday.
You have what, a 72-hour turnaround?
Exactly. And physiologically, the human body cannot clear the lactic acid and repair the fast-twitch muscle fibers required to execute a high-pressing tactical system in that short of a time frame.
So that 5-2 collapse in Madrid wasn't just bad luck or bad attitude, it was a team running in quicksand.
Precisely. When a squad is flying high and full of confidence, adrenaline can sometimes mask that fatigue.
Sure.
But for a struggling, broken squad, fixture congestion just destroys their legs. Furthermore, it completely eliminates time on the training ground.
Oh, because they're always traveling or resting.
Right. When you play twice a week, your training is mostly just light recovery and video analysis. You cannot physically run the tactical drills needed to fix a broken defensive line.
So getting knocked out by Atletico Madrid cuts the anchor rope.
It does. It clears the schedule.
Which they desperately need. I mean, this club requires a total reset this summer. They need to overhaul the squad, redefine their strategy, and finalize their long-term managerial appointment.
But that total reset is completely impossible if they aren't a Premier League side.
Right. If you drop out of the top flight, you aren't resetting the club, you're just trying to stop the bleeding.
Exactly. Clearing the schedule allows Igor Tudor and this newly energized squad to have a laser focus on one single objective: domestic survival.
No more distractions.
None. Every training session, every physical recovery protocol, every ounce of tactical preparation is now dedicated solely to the weekend's Premier League fixture. There are no more midweek flights across the continent.
Okay, so having established just how high stakes this relegation battle is, we have to look at the people feeling the weight of this survival fight more than anyone else, the fans.
Oh, the fans were incredible.
You would normally expect a stadium to empty out or for a chorus of boos to rain down after a team is officially knocked out of a major tournament.
But despite the aggregate loss, despite the exit, the stadium in London was absolutely rocking.
It was so loud.
The Spurs, faithful, were loud, supportive, and entirely behind the team at the final whistle.
Okay, but I have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Sure, go ahead.
It's a great narrative that the fans were rocking and the stadium felt alive again. But do good vibes actually translate into the gritty, ugly points needed to avoid relegation?
It's a fair question.
Because the talent was technically there during those 4 opening losses under Tudor, too. Talent doesn't just evaporate. So does a moral victory in Europe realistically fix their domestic consistency.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, good vibes alone won't save a club from relegation, but you cannot survive without them.
What do you mean?
We have to look at the neurobiology and psychology of playing in a crisis. When a team is broken, playing in front of a hostile or apathetic home crowd is paralyzing.
Oh, the pressure must be immense.
Players operate in a state of fear. They hide. They stop making forward runs because they don't want to be the one who loses the ball and triggers a wave of groans from 60,000 people.
Oh, wow. So the system breaks down because everyone is avoiding responsibility.
Exactly. So the fans cheering isn't just a nice moment, it's a functional tool.
A functional tool. I like that.
Football fans are incredibly perceptive. They aren't just reacting to the final score, they are reacting to the application on the pitch.
They saw the effort.
They saw the running, the tackling, the sheer physical desire that had been completely absent during the 5-2 collapse in Madrid. By giving the team a standing ovation in defeat, the fans removed the fear of making a mistake.
They created a safe psychological environment.
Right. They allowed the players to be brave again.
And that bravery is exactly what was missing, because talent without consistency is exactly what causes traumatic seasons in the first place. But consistency requires confidence. The fans gave the players their confidence back against Atletico. Now, Tudor's job is to harness that confidence, utilize the empty midweek schedule, and turn that bravery into points in the Premier League.
And it's going to be a battle. While Atletico Madrid prepares for their globally televised